What's up, you guys? What's up, you guys? It is Mom&Breezy in the building. Episode number what? What's this episode? Number 9? We are in the building. This is episode number 10, you guys. Episode number 10. We are here live, Mom&Breezy. Let's do some quick housekeeping rules. Number 1, what I need you guys to do is go to the last live post that I posted from Instagram from our episode number 9, our entrepreneurs. Go to that link, click on it, press like, subscribe, share, press notifications, and help us get to 50 followers so that we can start going live on YouTube. If you're on this live right now, right, I need you guys to share this live with your people so that other people can chime in and join in on our live video today. This is going to be a good topic. Once again, I want to thank you guys from last week's live. It was dope. It was awesome with the entrepreneurs, and everyone really enjoyed themselves, and people got to connect with people and kind of brainstorm and help each other out. And that's what this podcast is all about. It's about us helping our community and us trying to stick together and us lifting each other up and break the cycle of the crabs in the barrel. It's enough money out here for us all. It's enough room at the table for us all to sit and eat and get the same amount. Nobody is bigger than nobody, right? And we all here trying to help one another. So yet again, this podcast is a no judgment free zone. We are here to just, talk about different things that's going on in the world, things that's going on in our life, things that's going on in your life. For you guys to be able to chime in, give your thoughts, give your opinions. It's no judgment free zone. So whatever you got to say it. We will not be mad at you guys. Give us some advice, and we're here to try to give you guys some advice. Share some of our life experiences and different things that's going on within our household that helps us make it through. No family is perfect. Every family goes through things, and it's a lot going on out here in this world today that, everybody needs some help. Everybody needs some advice. Everybody needs some support. So that's what we're here to do. Change the game, change the rules, all of that. Change these generational curses and change the generational cycle of what is what and what is not what. And just because they used to do it, that we got to do it too. No, we changing all of that. Reach one, teach one, they say, right? So that's what this is all about. So once again, go to the last live video if you haven't. When we get off of here, like, subscribe, share, press notifications so that we can start going live on YouTube. So we need to get to 50 subscribers. You know what I mean? And if you're on this video right now, share it so somebody else on your page can see it, and maybe they might want to chime in today. Today's a good topic as well. So today's topic, hey Renata. So hey. This Breezy a little, I don't know what's up with Breezy. She won't be on this phone. Breezy gonna have to put that phone down. But nonetheless, this Breezy in this building, you know what I'm saying? Mom&Breezy, we here. You feel me? So today's topic is, at what age do your kid gotta move out? Like, is it a time frame? Is it stipulations? What's your thoughts? You know what I mean? That's what we're here to talk about today. Is it a time limit or time frame on when your kids got to hit it, and get up out of there, right? Some people say, 18, you got to go somewhere. Some say 21. Some may say 25. Some may say 35. Some may say
whenever you're
ready. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So that's today's topic. At what age do your kid, do you feel that it's time for your kid to move on and kind of, go on and do their own thing, right? So with that being said, we're going to let Breezy start today, right? And give her thoughts on, do she feel it's the age criteria? Or if she feels it's the age criteria, what comes with that age criteria? What keeps your kid home? And at what point do you say it's time for your kid to move out and go on and start their own journey in life? Go ahead, Breezy. So let the folks know what you think.
I'm not a parent, so I don't feel like. So I think I'm gonna speak for with me. I don't expect to be in my parents' house past 22. Like, I even might, when I graduate college, be looking for a place. I only say around that age due to the fact that when you're 21, that's when you about to start partying. That's when you going out and you doing this and doing that, and you don't want to still feel like you can't bring your guy friends to your house because your parents don't want that in their house. Like, even, like, you want your guy friend to have dinner with you. You can't bring that friend. Like, I wouldn't, like, I don't know. My mom's not okay with that. So if I have a guy friend and I want them to come over and I want to sit on the couch, my mom's not going to allow that. And that's the age where, like, you get to that point where you're starting to look for a husband and stuff like that. So, like, I feel like around 21, 22, you just getting out of college. Or if you don't, like, let's talk about that first. If you going to college, then when you graduate, you get it together for a year or whatever. And then you move out. But if you don't go to college, I would say, I don't know, do you think it should be the same age? If that person, I don't think it should be the same age if you're not going to college. I feel like if you're not going to college, you need to start stacking your money as soon as you realize that that's what you're not going to do. I feel like you shouldn't still be in your parents' house at a certain age, knowing that you're not going to college. I don't know. That's weird. Because what are you doing in that time span? Like if I decided today I'm not going to college, I would probably prepare for like 2 years and be out by 20. Yeah, or before my 21st birthday. Because, I don't know, like, what are you doing? What are you doing with yourself in that span of time if you're not going to college? Well, if you are going to college and you barely going to be home, so are you really still living with your parents? But yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like regardless, if you go to college 21, 22, and if you don't go to college, maybe 21. Because 18, you graduated or whatever.
Okay, so Breezy's thoughts is Breezy's thoughts is she feels like that if you're so most youths aren't thinking about marriage at 21. So you know what I'm saying. She feels so. You feel like if you're going away to college, you feel like you leave to go to college at 17, 18, depending on, of course, how your birthday falls, things like that. So you leave to go to college at age 17, 18. The average person, unless you're going like to school and extending it and stuff like that, 4 years, 5 years tops, you're finished college. So that's like age 21, 22. Mm-hmm. So for you feel like that if you go away to college, once you graduate college, you come home for at least like a year or so, establish some things first, and then plan to move out, right? But if you're not going to college and you just graduate in high school and your goal is to just, do you, work and stuff like that, right? You feel like automatically when you graduate high school, you should start getting your stuff situated and settled and saving your money and racking up and stuff to be able to move out. All right. I mean, that sounds, sounds like,
let me see, because I saw this comment. It says, most youths aren't thinking about marriage at 21. That is true. Nowadays, generational wise, but me at 21 and settling myself into my job and stuff like that, I don't want to date just to have fun. Like, I don't think that's ever my case. Like, I want to date to build something. I don't want to. This generation dates to have fun. They have no future goals. They don't have no, what's the word? They don't have tunnel vision. It's everything. It's, we just having fun. We're just doing this. We're not building together. We're not creating businesses. There's none of that. It's just, you my baby, my boo. Just for the gram and just for company and companionship. That's all this generation is looking for. With me, I want something further. I don't want just a play buddy. Like, I don't want...
You're looking for something serious. So for you kind of on that vibe, like you looking to find a companion to get to know, to eventually get married and maybe 21, 22 or something like that, you possibly got you a baby boo, but y'all in a real committed relationship, and that's the goal.
Right,
that's
and I wouldn't want to be living in my parents' house if I'm in a committed, not no relationship that I'm in, like that I would be in now. At 21, 22, I want to be in a committed, and it's not like predicting the future. I'm just saying, like, if I am in a committed relationship at 21 and 22, I'm going to want to be by myself with my partner. Mm-hmm. So, living with my parents, I feel like that's thought at all.
So with that thought, right? So with that thought, do you think if we weren't the parents that we were, like, it's like all that, you know, in the house and stuff like that, do you feel like you would be okay with having a relationship with somebody right now to where you invite them over to spend the night and all that kind of stuff like that? Or would you not even feel comfortable doing it?
Spend the night? No.
Just to come over and visit, though?
Yeah, come over and visit, sit on the couch. I feel like even if your parents are in the household, the devil is at play. So I feel like that puts you in a position to end up in that position or whatever. So that's not something I would feel comfortable with. Like, spending the night, no. That's not even a question. Even my mom was like, oh, let him. No, not spending the night. You could go home. Time to go. Okay. But yeah.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to give my thoughts on it, right? So I feel like this is for me. I wouldn't say just kick your kids out at age 18. No, I don't say that. Now, I'm kind of on the same page with Breezy, right? If you turn 17, 18, you graduate high school, and you're headed to college, cool. You head to college, you do your 4 or 5 years in college, right? And once you finish your 4 or 5 years of college, right? For me, my thought is, you going away to college. Yep, you graduate college, you come home. I feel like because you went to college, now you have a direction in having a possible career, or, you know, whatever the case may be, to get yourself established and okay. So for me, you graduate college, you come home, you can return back home, and I'm not going to say it's like a time, I will put a time limit on it, like, or you graduate college and now you got to get out in 6 months. No. But we can sit down and talk and discuss, like, listen, okay, so you're finished college, what's your plan? So my thing would be this: 6 months before you even finish college, it would be like, all right, so what's your plan? Okay, so with Breezy, for instance, she's planning to head away to college in August, right? August could come and she could change her mind, and that's fine. We're not here to force our kids that they have to go to college. If you want to go, we're encouraging it. But if you don't want to go, we're not forcing you that you gotta go to college because this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. That's not what we're doing. So August could come and she could be like, you know what, Mom, that's not what I want to do. I changed my mind. I want to do X, Y, and Z, and so on and so forth, or whatever. We're gonna support her regardless, right? And whatever she decides to do. But she has to have a plan as well. So she decided to go for college in August. 6 months before she about to graduate college, now we got to come to the table. All right, what's your plan? You about to graduate? Are you looking into jobs? What are you looking to do? What are you planning on doing? Like, what's your plan?
Because college, you should be already searching. Like, say for instance, like when I'm going to college for like psychology and stuff like that. For fields like that, you got to do internships and all types of stuff. So that's already preparing you for after. So you should be building a plan while you're in college. Well, some people go to college and don't know what they want to do at all. So I can't really speak for them. So like for me, for instance, if I go to college or whatever, I'm going in college, I'm doing these internships, in these type of fields and stuff like that, and I'm looking. That's me planning for what I'm going to do afterwards. That's only if somebody going to college for what they want to do after. Some people go to college and don't know what they want to do. Some people go to college and just want to party. So it's really hard, like, to say an age limit, because I could tell you, I'm going to college, you know, for this, that, and the third, and now you spending all this money for me to go to college, and I'm partying, and now afterwards, 6 months before it's time for me to leave, you ask me what's my plan, and I'm looking at you like that, like,
I don't have no plan. Party. Exactly. So those are the key components for me. So 6 months into you get ready to graduate, okay, what's your plan? What are you planning to do? Okay, so this is your plan. You plan to finish school. You're going to graduate. You're going to get, search for jobs in this field. You're going to do this, that, and the third. Okay, and then what next? So now we have to come up with that idea of what's your idea of giving you time to start working and start producing your income and things like that, things you need to do, building on your credit, all of that different kinds of stuff. And that's why for us right now, we're already working with our kids on working on their credit and how to start their credit and keep their credit at a good pace for them in the future, or whatever the case may be. So with that being said, when they turn 21 and they graduate from college, right? Their credit is already established. Their credit is already in good standing. Mm-hmm. So it's not going to take nothing but for them to start stacking money to be able to go purchase that apartment on their own without needing a co-signer. Or going to go buy that first real nice car on your own without needing a co-signer. Because we're teaching them all of that credit stuff now and building their credit so that they don't mess up their credit to have to fix their credit. Now they're building on their credit to get to that good credit status so that they can do these things on their own and won't have to reach out to people and say, hey, could you co-sign something for me and things like that. They could go and do it on their own. So for me, I just feel like from the college standpoint, right? You know, I feel like 21, 22, I feel like the least amount of time I would say is 25, right? Graduating out of college. I would say if you went to college and you graduated from college and then you just need to establish yourself, 25 for me I think is a reasonable age criteria for your kids to be preparing to move out of their parents' home at about 25. Graduate college at 21.
But things gonna change.
And then you got 3 years in between that to establish and stuff. And then the things happen because we know life happens, right? And then we revisit, we come back to the table. Like, listen, I've been saving and this has been going on, that been going on. And because you're going to be in your parents' household, they're already in communication with you. So they already know what's going on, what's the good, what's the bad, what's the ups, what's the downs, how this happened. You might have lost this job, so you kind of had to start all over again or different things like that. Or you had a car and you had some issues with your car, so you had to get your car. Just different things like that. We know life happens, right? So you just keep that line of communication open. So for me, going to college and graduating from college, for me, I would say 25 would be a good ballpark in having your kids be ready to move out the house and venture off and go on their own and things like that. Because for me, like Breezy said, as far as like company and stuff, my thing is, okay, she's 18 and all that, right? But for me, it's not even about because she's 18, she's not old enough or whatever. For me, I just feel like this world is crazy, right? And people be having ulterior. And with people's ulterior motives, for me, I just don't trust people. So for me, I feel like I don't feel comfortable with her meeting a guy offline in the McDonald's drive-thru or walking down the block or in the market or something and saying, hey, you could come visit my house or something like that and come to my house or whatever. Now, if she meets somebody today or tomorrow and they have like a real long-standing relationship and a year or two from now they really still and things are going good with them and we feel me, I feel like then maybe it's like, all right, they could come over and stuff because now I got some comfortability. But new relationships and stuff like that, for me, I would say it would be a no as far as inviting over and things like that because I just don't trust people. And that's just what it is. I don't trust people. I don't trust people's motives and different things like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I just wouldn't feel comfortable with it. So with that being said, it just is what it is. That type of a situation, right?
I think at this point, like, I don't even want nobody to meet nobody I'm dating right now. Like, I don't want nobody to know their name. I don't even want my parents to know they exist. And it's not that's kind of dim. I don't want to, I don't know, it's like no secretive. It's just, like people, I'm at a point where I kind of like, I don't know. And I don't think I want to be home that long. Like, I don't think I want to be home. Because I know, like, a lot of kids, like, when we're younger and stuff like that, we be like, oh, my goodness, I can't wait to turn 18. I can't wait to turn 18 because I'll move out. Since I turned 18, my 18th birthday, I'll move out. I said that, and my 18th birthday was, almost 2 months ago, and I'm still here. But I don't intend to still be here until I'm 25 because I feel like want to do certain things, and I kind of want to be not on my own, because you know I mess around and move in next to my mom, but just so I could knock on her door. Mom, what's that recipe? But it's still the matter of like when you're 25, you gonna be doing different stuff. You want to go. Some people want to go to the club. Some people want to do that. And I don't want to.
Sorry guys, I'm cooking dinner.
I don't want to be the one. Oh, mama, I'm about to go to the club. I'll be right back. Like I don't know. I don't know how I feel about stuff like that. Like, oh, coming home you drunk. Like, cause at 21, you like some people when they turn 21, you start drinking and stuff like that. Like, and you coming home or whatever. Or my mom, you got that rule where if you able to stay past a certain time, you got somewhere to stay.
Oh, so absolutely.
So yeah,
that's just my theory, my thought. So like I said, so as far as the college part, graduate college, I say give them from age 21, 25. They should be well enough established to where they're suitable enough to move out, and it can last for a good amount of time to where they're not backtracking back home. You know what I mean? That they're not backtracking back home within 6 months or so because they really didn't give themselves enough time to to get themselves really established or whatever the case may be. Right? So now I'm going to talk about the part where you're 18 and you don't plan to go to college. So for me, 18 and you're not planning to go to college, you're going to just graduate. Okay. So what's your plan? Yet again, what's your plan? You don't want to go to college. What's your plan? What's your idea of making income now that you're 18, right? What's next? You're going to graduate high school and then what? Because what you can't do in my house is I'm not getting up to work a 9 to 5 and multiple other income bringing in type jobs and things like that. And my husband, he's working a 9 to 5 and doing other things to bring in income, and you are just laying on the couch watching TV all day, eating up all the food, or you in your room or wherever you stationed at in the house to sleep and relax. That's just where you're at all day long. For me, that's a no. So you gotta have an idea. You have to have a plan. You have to have a plan. Okay, I don't want to go to college. So what do you want to do? Work, entrepreneurship, I don't know. Whatever it is, you got to have a plan. So for me, I feel like 18 to like 23. For me, personally, 18 to 23. I think that's more than enough time. That's like 5 years. I feel like that's more than enough time, especially when you turn 18. If you don't have any children, no responsibilities, it's just you.
And that's college?
No, this is without college. So 23.
That's a long stretch.
That's like 5 years.
Well, I turned 18 and I was still in high school. I just graduated early.
But so it depends on when your birthday is. So you could be 17 or 18 when you graduate, depending on when your birthday falls. So I feel like 5 years from the time you graduate high school, and 5 years like 23, like 22, 23. I think, especially when you don't have any, like I said, other responsibilities like children or anything like that, I feel like that's sufficient enough time in 5 years when it's just you don't have no other responsibilities to work or, things like that, to produce income to be able to get out there on your own at like by age 23. That's just my thought. That don't have to be anybody else's thought, or, I'm not saying I'm gonna throw my kids to the wolves or nothing. And we're doing everything now when they're 12, when they're 13, and when they're 16, and when they're 17, and when they're 18 to prepare them for 18 and graduating high school and heading off to college, or 18 and heading out into the real world and starting to produce things and getting things in order for their future. So I feel like 5 years is well enough time to do what you need to do, to produce what you need to produce, to live successfully, not successfully, so to speak, but live okay on your own within that 5 years time span. Now, if you end up having children in between and that becomes something different, then it's still something we can talk about and we can, work out or whatever. But you can't just be in my house sleeping and eating and running the streets without producing income. And I mean legit income. You just can't be sleeping and eating and waking up and going to bed, and I'm out here busting my butt and I'm doing all these different to produce resourceful, residual income and multiple sources of income, and you just chilling. And every time I come in, you at the refrigerator, at the stove, at the counter, eating and cooking and all of that. Like, no. For me, that's a no. So I was, like I said, so I would just say, like, you know, between age 23 and 25, whether leaving for college and graduating or just totally graduating from high school, I feel as though personally for me that you know, sounds like more than reasonable. You know what I mean? And as far as with that too, I wouldn't even request like rent or anything for my children or whatever while they're here. Now I might, you know, say here and there, you know, because you are here and you are using electric and water, it wouldn't be bad if, you know, you throw your parents a little $30, $50 here and there. Here, mom, here, dad, here go $30 towards, you know, the water bill or the gas bill. Because you are here using those things and you're no longer a child. You know what I'm saying? You are an adult, especially when you screaming, I'm grown. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you grown, start doing some grown things. Like, but I wouldn't never charge them rent. I wouldn't never do that. Or personally say, you gotta give me $50 towards the electric bill or $50 towards the water bill. No, I want them to be able to save all their money to help establish themselves. So when they're ready to actually exit out, they're sufficient. They got a cushion. So it doesn't last only 6 months and then they be on the phone like, Mom, Dad, it didn't work out. I need to come back home. I want them to be able to be okay and comfortable to at least it could last a year, 2 years, 3 years, and then life really happens. And it's like, listen, Mom, Dad, I need to come back for like 6 months just to reestablish. Cool. Let's do what we gotta do.
I left a comment and I wanted to.
Let's do what we gotta do. So that's sort of, wait a minute. That's sort of kind of where my thought is with it as well. Yes, discover the world by traveling and doing things before you even settle down and have a family. I think that is bright. I did no rush to say, just to say how I have my own place. So I'm a response to that, right? It's not about, my thing is this. As far for me, my thought with that is, if a person is ready to, you know, get married and settle down at 21, I'm gonna tell them, rock out, do your thing. I don't think that in this day and age, how I look at things, right? We don't know when our last moment is gonna be our last moment, right? So all of the stalling and not doing this because you want to wait until this and this and the third and and playing house. You in a relationship, you in a relationship with somebody, but it's like, all right, we ain't gonna get married yet because I want to travel the world.
We're gonna move together. We're gonna split the bills. We're gonna do basically you doing everything a husband and wife doing, but y'all don't have the papers that say y'all husband and wife.
But not even just with that. I feel like personally for me, just with the world today and just how things are, I wouldn't say stall, travel the world and do this and do that first before you get married or settle down. No, you can still settle down, and guess what? Now you and your spouse can travel the world together and enjoy those beautiful things.
I never
in
said
life
anything about having kids
and all of that kind of stuff. And if you're a person like Breezy right now, she's saying like she don't really want kids. She just want to get married, have a committed relationship, get married, and have fun,
and live life.
And that's what her spouse could do: travel the world together. So I personally wouldn't say don't get married yet, don't get serious yet, travel the world, wait till you 25, 30 years old to say now I'm going to get married and all of that. Because then in between that, you're
going to have a partner. Because like it's human nature to long for something like that. So if I wait and I'm traveling the world by myself and stuff like that, you don't think I'm going to have companions along the way? You don't think I'm going to have companions along the way?
Exactly. So now, between 18 and 30, because she's traveling and not settling down, she got all these different companions, or she has a companion who want to really settle down, but she's not ready to settle down yet because she want to no. She finds somebody and they good for each other, lock it down, travel the world together. Do all of those fun things together. You know what I mean? And then, you know, you just continue to live life and, you know, do things like that. That's just my opinion. It don't mean my opinion is right. But that's just my thought.
And I'm not saying that that's range for me is just so I can say I have my own place. That's not why. My thought on it being that short amount of time is because if you want to act grown, you have your own place. I can't expect to come in a house at 3 o'clock in the morning or something like that. And because I'm 22, I got to tell my mom, well, No, my mom rules are what my mom rules are. I don't want to have to find somewhere to stay at 3 o'clock in the morning because I know my mom's rules. I don't want to put myself in that position. So if I want to make grown people moves and stuff like that, I gotta
get your own place. And my thought is just that when I'm ready to lock my house down, and I'm not saying like if you like, Mom, it's this event, it's a party, it's over at like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Of course, you 18, you 19 years old, you going to this event, rock out. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you can't do this and come in at this time every single time because it's my rules. We can negotiate and always talk, but you're not coming to my house every Friday and Saturday, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and things like that.
Because my thought is stay out there long every weekend. Because
my thought is this. When I lock my house down and I go to bed, I want to be comfortable. I don't want to hear alarms going off and doors unlocking and opening and closing at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning every weekend or every other day and different things like that. So it's just, for me, it's out of respect.
Because that can break up a comfortability in a home too. Because my mom and my dad has always been used to everybody's inside at that time. So if I break up that consistency, it's going, one day it could be a real emergency, somebody inside the house. But you don't know because you're thinking it's me coming in at 2 o'clock in the morning and it's not me. So that could it could turn into a dangerous situation. It could break up comfortability. It can break up consistency that you have brought into your household. It's just a lot. So if I want to do the things that I want to do, and I'm not saying that I'm going to be a party person because a lot of people are going to take that wrong too. Oh, you just want to go out and you just want to be at the clubs at 3 o'clock. No, you want to have fun.
You want to do things and enjoy life the way that you want to live life and enjoy life, and that's fine. So like I said, you want to go out and this occasionally, and it's over at 2 and you ain't gonna be home till 3 or something like that. Rock out. You know what I mean? That's negotiable. But every Friday and Saturday you think you strolling 3 or 4, not gonna happen. Not in my house. Then on top of that, as far as even staying out, like I'm going away for the weekend with my girls, or we doing this and that and third, or I'm staying out tonight, I'll see y'all tomorrow, occasionally and stuff like that. Cool. But at my house, you can't leave for weekends and weeks at a time and then come back and be like, oh, I'm back home. No, because for me, you could stay somewhere every weekend, or you could stay somewhere for weeks at a time before you return home. For me, that means you got somewhere to stay. And my home isn't your personal storage space to hold your things, and when you're ready to come back, just to re-up on some things to take with you and shower and laundry.
I know couples
and do laundry and stuff like that. Now you think you coming back to my house, you know what I'm saying, and you feel like, it's cool and it's okay. For me personally, that's just a no for me. You know what I mean? The way y'all are preparing them now, they should be ready to be on their own by 25. For me, that's what I really personally think too, that the way that we're preparing them, we've been preparing them and prepping them since they were 12. We were prepping Breezy at age like 12 with credit and, and different things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just stuff like that or whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, so we've been preparing them and prepping them for the longest on, preparing them for the real world and getting out there on their own. So I think 25 will probably be sufficient as well. And I left home at age 25, got my first apartment at age 23. Yeah, you left home at 21, right? But for 2 whole years, you were clearly, living with somebody else, right? Until, you were able to establish yourself. So it's like the same thing. You left home at 21, but you didn't get your own place until you were 23. So you were still under somebody else's rules and roof for 2 more years before you started to do things on your own to really be independent. I feel like there should be rules for a significant other, not your kids. Don't push them out. They are our kids no matter the age. I'm not putting the age limit on when my kids gotta leave home. Oh yeah, so with that, Drea, right? So my thing is like, I'm not saying like at 25 you got to get out. Like I'm just going to give them the boot, right? No, that's not exactly what I'm saying, right?
And just
what I'm saying is basically I'm more so saying like
it's that age. Oh, she's saying age, but I feel like it's not more so because some people are right with that. Like, oh, no matter the age, some people not ready. Now, I could understand.
I see.
Depending on why are you still home?
Exactly.
Like that's the limit. The age limit is actually a question. Why are you still home at 30? Now, if it's a reasonable, something happened, something's going on at home. I mean, something's going on or something like that with your job. But yeah, I just feel like I wouldn't still want to be home when I'm 30. Like, yeah, like my mama never just pushed me out, my mama would never push me out only if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Exactly. If I'm home saving, doing this, doing that, she's not gonna make me leave.
Oh yeah.
But if I'm just sitting here doing nothing and I have no plan of saving and I have
So my thing is this is the thing. So it's not that it's an age limit, right? I'm more so using ages as just as an underlying like guide, right? I feel like if agreeing with you, Andrea, we know when a kid is ready. You know what I'm saying? We know when our kid is ready. You feel me? We know.
Say you're not ready when you're 30. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion.
I mean, that's your opinion.
That's my opinion.
What I'm going to say is we know when our kids are ready, right? And that's why I feel like if we're preparing them and prepping them at an early start, right? By the time they turn 18, they're getting ready to leave and go to college or get ready to go to the real world. It's like those thoughts like, okay, so what's your plan? Because my thing is, we gotta ask them what's their plan, right? Because if we don't have that conversation, like what's your plan, we're going to have our kids, so to speak, living with us in their age 50.
But they're no longer kids.
But they're no longer children. There are children, but they're no longer kids. I think that's why
it's an age limit. I think that's why some people put an age limit on certain things is because you're considered a kid to a certain extent. Like, but we're gonna exit out the age limit part. I think discussion is mostly when is your kid ready to leave?
Exactly. So if we take the age out, right, that's more so the question. When is your kid ready to go? Like, how do you decide it's time for them to go? So my thing is, like I said, it's not like all right, you turn 25, you gotta go, you gotta roll. No. Like you said, we know when our kids are ready and when they're not. But at the same time, my thing is, if I'm prepping you and I'm preparing you and we're guiding you and we're giving you all the tools that you need to go out there and be great, right? I personally just feel like at age 35, if we gave you all of these tools to be great, to go out there into the real world, to be great and to be successful and to be sustainable in society and to be able to provide for yourself, right? The question is, right, when do they get out, or do you just allow them to continue to live with you until they, leave this earth first, or you leave this earth first, and they're 45 years old and they're still living under your roof? And the question is, right, Drea? So if that's the case, right, asking you this question, right, let's say age 40, your kid's still living in your home. They're not a kid no more, of course, because they're 40 years old. And it's like the question out there, why are you still home at age 40 living with your mother under her roof at age 40, right? So
put something down.
Let me see what you said, Drea. So one, I'm going to say absolutely. What makes a person happy? And that's what I'm saying, like helping them get established so that they're not leaving and moving out, right? And they right back home in 6 months. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you got to give them all the tools and stuff. So when they do leave, they're not returning in 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we don't want. We don't want them to, get out there, get on their own, and in 6 months they on the phone like, Mom, Dad, can I come back home because it didn't work out? Now, in the long run, because life happens and they say, hey, Mom, Dad, things is a little, skimpy out here. Things a little tight and a little crazy. Is it okay if I could come home, reboot, reset myself or something like that? Cool. Even if they got kids, things just ain't going right, it didn't pan out, such happened, this happened, then we can talk, come on home, regroup and things like that, you know what I'm saying? But not just, of course, give them the boot and go out and then in 6 months they right back home. That means they weren't comfortable, they weren't settled, they weren't at a certain criteria before they left. See, but people got grown men living with them for nothing, so why your kids can't? Oh, ma'am, listen.
That's a criteria for
absolutely. For
just
me,
just like a kid has to have a plan, that grown man has to have a plan.
Drea,
you can't be in my house and just be doing nothing. Just like my kid can't just be in my house doing nothing.
Drea, I understand. And so for me, it's on both ends of the field for me. I ain't living with no man who think that he gonna have his feet up and I'm busting my butt and doing X, Y, and Z, but you just got your feet up and doing absolutely nothing. So I totally agree with that. And also with my kids as well. When I know that I'm producing whatever we need to produce for you to make y'all productive in society, but all you want to do is put your feet up and do absolutely nothing all day long, you can't be in my house doing nothing, absolutely nothing all day long, and you 30, 35, 40 years old, and you just got your feet kicked up and you ripping and running the streets, coming and going in my home and things like that, and it's just supposed to be okay. I'm not going to let my kids or no man do that. You know what I'm saying? So I totally agree with you with that one. Yes, until they are ready, we put too many high expectations on our kids because society says so. Why is it anyone's business but the parents? Absolutely. You know, to each his own. Whatever anybody chooses to do within their household, you know what I'm saying? That's what they choose to do. And I'm not telling any parent that you should put your kids out at 23 or you should put your kids out at 25. Because I'm not just putting mine out at 23 and 25, you know. But we are going to build on something to prepare you to be ready to move out when it's time for you to move out. Because I don't want you to have to backtrack, especially quickly, just because you weren't prepared and you weren't ready. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely going to make sure you're prepared and well prepared. And like I said, and continue to say, we've been preparing her. So I feel like, you know, when she ready to go.
Me, but when I'm ready to go, I still will be calling her. Because
of course,
I still will be calling her, asking her how to turn the stove on.
Absolutely, and that's fine, because it's still stuff you're going to want to know and stuff you're going to want to ask or just want your mom's thought and opinion on. You know what I'm saying?
What I feel like that could be an excuse for a kid too. Like a kid could take that in and hear a parent say, "Oh, my kid not ready," and da da da. But you never know you're ready until you go out there. Like you, just like a parent is never ready to have a kid until they have a kid. Like mom used to tell me that all the time. Like you never know something until you're in that situation. So your kid, you could think like, oh, my kid not ready, I'm not gonna make them move out. And then when you give your kid that push and they move out and start doing everything you taught them and da 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 da, and then you look back and you're like, dang, my kid was ready. It's just you were handicapping them. And I feel like that's what some parents could do is when they, you know, don't want their nest to be empty and stuff like that, they could use certain things. Nothing but they live in so.
Andre, you stupid. Yeah, you absolutely right. It's grown men, but that's what I'm saying. A person who has a household like that, and I'm still not judging, I'm just giving my opinion. A woman who is living in a household where the man just got his feet up and, you know, not doing nothing but trying to tell their kids what their kid got to do. For me, my opinion is that's not okay. Because if you're okay in this man to be like this, why are you forcing your kids to be anything differently? For one, you showing your kids what is okay to do by accepting what this man is doing, correct? So you can't expect but so much more from your child, your children, or whatever the case may be. So absolutely, that you don't expect from that man.
Willingly allow in your household. Your kids, you're not allowing.
They your kids, so they supposed to be there.
Live there.
But this man, you welcomed him into your space, and you're allowing him to not do nothing. So that is not okay.
And
absolutely
that's
not okay.
For your kids too to think that's okay.
And today's kids not ready. Majority of today's kids, a high percentage of today's kids aren't ready. Andrea, you're absolutely correct.
Because I read that too. I got an example. Mom, you always say, my mom is my biggest crutch. My mom is my crutches. Okay. When I feel like I'm about to fall, what do I do, Mom? I'll be right on your line, crying.
Mm-hmm.
But when I couldn't do that and I was out in the world by myself, I had to rely on me. I couldn't rely on nobody else. Like, so like I had to figure it out. Like, it's just one of those things where like you might think, like you say today's kids not ready. But for real, like, and I said this to my dad, like, and I was being smart or whatever, but I had said this to Dad like a week ago. And he was like, this society and this generation. Who was the generation who raised us? Like, to be honest, like, and like, just think about it. Who was the generation to raise us?
Oh, no, absolutely.
Y'all put such a crutch, y'all was such a crutch for us that it's like, ooh, like, I gotta get my balance, like, or we're gonna end up falling. Some people grab an extra pair of crutches and hold on to themselves, and then some kids fall off.
Mm-hmm.
So, that example right there, like, everybody thought, oh, Sniper's not ready to be at home, da-da-da. Sometimes I really am not. Like, sometimes I could be like, I don't even know what's going on out there. I be losing it. But when I wasn't thrown out there, but when I walked out there, when I went into the ocean and it was no life jacket, no nothing, I had to figure it out. And that's what we have to do. Because y'all leave such a crutch for us and use those excuses, we're not ready. And you put that into our heads that we actually believe it ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like y'all say, y'all be like, these kids need discipline and da-da-da-da, and they need this and they need that. But we never got it, and we always had the handicap. Oh, if I can't get to work, my mom gonna take me to work. If I can't do this, my mom gonna do it. If I can't do that, my dad gonna do it. Oh, I need money, my mom gonna give it to me. Oh, I need that, my dad gonna give it to me. It was always something there to fall on. So once y'all out of the way, it's like, boom, I smack my face. But if you're a kid like me, in which some kids are not, I'm gonna figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Now now that I came back home with you and I got my crutch again, now I act like, now I'm like, I don't know what to do. So it's like, to be honest, like, is it really us? Like, is it, cause I'm looking at her name, Andrea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at Andrea and it's like, it's kind of like, do her kids hear these things like this? Like the, cause some of the things she's saying, like, I get it, like the not being ready and da-da-da, but like you say, don't tell my kid she bad. Mm-hmm. Don't tell her you bad. Oh, you a bad kid. So what the kid gonna start doing? I'm bad. And stuff like that. They hear what you say and they gonna take it into account. I remember you was like, oh, you allergic to this, or oh, you this. So they gonna start believing it. So you
feel like if you tell a kid that they're not ready, we're kind of encouraging the fact that
you're giving us an excuse.
Giving you excuse to not be ready. Because
right. Oh, my mom said I'm not ready, so I'm not ready. Mm-hmm. But if you give that child that push, oh, you 25, you got everything together, boom, you out the door. Yeah, it's gonna be a little shaky because we always had our parents, which we were supposed to have. We always had our parents, but at the end of the day, we gonna learn. Y'all learn. Mom, you didn't have parents.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have guidance, and you learned. You wasn't ready. You was forced to be ready. And I feel like that's the biggest thing. No, I wasn't as ready. I was 16. I was 16. I was 17. I was 17 when I left. So no, I wasn't ready. Like, I don't think anyone's ready. Mom, you wasn't ready when you left at 17.
See. Oh yeah, exactly. So, and that's my thing too. You know, even when my kids move out, it don't mean just because they moved out, right, that we're just gonna wash our hands because y'all grown, you on your own. Like, no, you're grown, you're on your own. If you need to call mom, dad, need some help, need some assistance, she could move out and call dad and be like, Dad, could you come put a shelf together for me? Dad gonna go put that shelf together for her. You know what I'm saying? Or Dad, like me and stuff around the house, her apartment, stuff like that, or different things like that. Dad's gonna go help. He's gonna assist. Or Mom, I'm a little short for my groceries this month, or whatever. We're still going to help and we're going to be there. But my thing is, just bottom line is with it is that we're not here to just throw them out to the streets and say you got to move out, right? Or you just got to get out because you are a specific age, or because you did move out, that now you're out and on your own, that now we're not going to help assist you with anything because you're grown now, you're out on your own. Like, no. They can still be able to call home and say, hey, we need some help or some assistance and things like that. My only thing is just that if you're trying and you're doing things and you're working towards those things, for me, that's just my thing is you can't just have your feet up, especially when we showed you, we've been your proof. Like me and my husband, they've never seen us just sit around with our feet up, doing nothing. They've never just seen us, with our hand out, looking for everybody else to do something for us. They've never seen us without a job, They've never seen us just looking for handouts and all of that different kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? They've never seen it. So we are their proof in what we're showing them, right? And then we're also verbalizing to them and giving them game and helping them and putting them on and doing things like that, you know what I'm saying? For instance, like Breezy, she's been doing her thing. She was 14 doing her business, her books and different things like that. And now she got different business ventures. She opened her first own bank account when she was 14 years old. No, she was 13 years old. You know what I'm saying? All my kids have their own bank accounts. All 4 of my children have their own bank accounts. You know what I'm saying? 9-year-old Cody is where that's her business. You know what I mean? I'm pushing it. I'm the adult in it and kind of pushing it. She's a real shy little kid or whatever. But, I'm pushing it and think that's her business. As soon as she really get in a mindset and come out of her shell a little bit more, this is going to be her thing and for her to do and to keep pushing with it. And I'll be in the background helping assist her and things. And I got my own business, other business adventures and things behind the scenes or whatever the case may be that I'm doing on my own to produce my own, other sources of income and things like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. As soon as I get established and I get my car and stuff like that, I'm definitely gonna be cool.
But you know what I'm saying?
You think so, Mom? If I get myself, I think I'll be cool.
So I feel like, it's not really an age that it's like, we're like, you get this age, you gotta get out. Then when you get out, that's it. We washing our hands. We ain't doing nothing else for you. You can't call us for nothing. No, she'll move out and be like, Mom, can you come over and cook? I'll probably be all right, I'm coming over to cook you a meal. Or I'll cook it at home and drop it off to her. So it's not like that, it's like once they're gone, that's it and they're grown. No, we still gonna rock out. We gonna look out.
My mom's not even that type of person.
But my thing is, I just want them to be ready to go ahead and be out there in the world on their own and do their things. I just don't want my kids to just be in my house at age 30 and 35 and feel like, they gotta follow certain rules and this, that, and the third, and so on and so forth, or whatever the case may be, or they can't do this or do that, or they, you know what I'm saying? So it's not about that. But for me, you just can't have your feet up and doing nothing but expect to not have to, end result being like, you gotta go do something with your life. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely feel like 18. Cause listen, I was just talking to who, right? I was just talking to her. She just turned 16 or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. She just turned 16. I was talking to her, and I'm like, yes. I'm like, do you feel any freedom? Da, da, da. And she like, yeah. And I said, 18, a whole different thing. Da, da, da. And she said, yeah, I can't wait. Da, da, da. And I said, wait now. I ain't say it was fun. I said, wait now. I said, wait, stop your check. I ain't say it was fun. I just said, with some freedom and some independence. But I ain't say the independence was always fun.
But wait a minute, but to take off what you said though too, when you was like, you felt like we were a crutch because we always, when something went wrong, we always was there trying to and court you and things like that. So to a degree, you felt like it was a crutch to you. And that's why now that she's 18, we kind of make her accountable for majority of stuff in her life now. Because like I said, you ain't paying no rent. You ain't got to do this. You ain't got to do that. But every time she, for instance, right now, every time when she get paid, she got to give me $25, right? Every time she get paid.
But that's been a little shaky.
So that's $50 a month, right? But that's not because she's paying me. What I'm doing is in the back of my mind, while you're saving your own money on your own timing, every time she give me that $25, that's going into a savings pot for her behind the scenes. So that when the time comes, right, and she's ready to move in this and the third, right? And she like, Mom, I got my own $2,000 saved up. Just using numbers, right? I got my own $2,000 saved up. Guess what? I could come to her and be like, oh, well, I got this other 5 stacks that from that $225 a week. You know what I'm saying? So then you got $7,000. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not like you paying, you gotta pay rent or you gotta do this, you gotta do that, but making her like pay her own cell phone bill. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You paying your own cell phone bill. That's your phone. You want to talk on it, and you work. So why am I still paying a phone bill for you to talk on, and you working and different things like that? You ain't doing nothing else with your money. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, you can pay a little $30-$35 cell phone bill. So now I feel like we're holding her accountable for a little more stuff. So now she doesn't feel as crutched as she used to, because we was just always jumping in. Oh, we gotta save her.
And it's helping me with learning how to pay stuff I need first, rather than stuff I want last.
And like you said, Dre, like, no, at 18, when kids turn 18, they just throw them to the wolves. That's not cool. And that's why we got a lot of these nutcases out here right now, because the parents threw them to the wolves. They didn't prepare them for the real world. They didn't prepare them what was next.
Or not just threw them out, they just like, all right, you don't know.
Or when they said, oh, we out, they was like, oh, okay, bye, get out. And just didn't really prepare them. You know what I'm saying? So you're absolutely right. And that's why we got a lot of what's going on right now. See, my kids won't have to be forced. They got me now. If I close my eyes tomorrow, my kids are already. Exactly. Right? And that's how I feel too, Andre. And I think that's why Breezy felt like she was crutched. Because that was always my fear. Like, if I go today or tomorrow, I feel like I want to. That's why I push and I push and I push with my kids. Because if I go today or tomorrow, I want to be sure that they are good and they got it and they're going to be able to stand on their own 2 feet and be able to maneuver in this world. That's a big fear for me as well. I don't even think I'm
able to handle something like that. I don't even think I'm going to go on with life after that. I'm going to be honest. Y'all keep talking about that. I'm not going to be able to go on with life. My mom closed her eyes today.
Andrea, exactly. So now that
I'm not even going to remember how to... my credit card and stuff like that. I'm not even worried about that.
Like Andrea, like you said, when she moved out, when she left last year in like May and was going for the 2 months, when she packed her stuff and she was like, I'm rolling, and she had those experiences, she had some of her tools that she was able to utilize that kept her afloat. While she was out there,
it was shaky then. So imagine when I do it the right way, it's gonna be sturdy.
Exactly. So now, because we instilled so much in her from like age 9 to age 18, that little gap last year when she was 17, right, and she left, it was shaky, but she was able to maneuver to a degree. Alright, 75% alright, you know what I mean? The other percent, it was like shaky, like I don't know, like why am I out here doing this on my own? You know what I'm saying? Then she came back home and we still continued to build with her, right? Now, like you said, she go back out there now. But I'm not saying like now, like right now. I'm saying like in general, she like listen, she gonna be amazing.
And them building me when I first came, I'm a high school graduate, and it's only February. So now I got time for my business ventures and stuff like that. So imagine like me having 7 months to figure out my business and stuff like that, write my book, and put out all this stuff. I'm going to have all this time since I graduated early, because, I don't do nothing. I'm at work or I'm either home. So, me doing all of this and having all this time, like, I'm definitely going to be sturdy. I believe. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be
Exactly. And, when we was 18, Andre, especially when our parents got on our nerves, like, I can't wait till I turn 18 to get out of here. That's the kids. That's the kids' mentality. Like, it ain't just them. It's the kids' mentality. Oh, I can't wait to turn 18 and I'm going to be out of here. And then you turn 18, you like Breezy. She like, ooh, I got to pay my credit card bill and I got to pay my cell phone bill. Only 2 bills, right? And it's like, ooh. But I want these cute shoes. I want these cute sneakers. Or I want this outfit. I want this and that. And they try and budget it.
And Mom, you can. And when I buy sneakers, I don't buy random sneakers. It's going to be Jordans. So, imagine living on my own. First of all, I was just telling somebody about this. I said, you going to go into something you 18. Because I was telling her that 6 year. I was telling her. I said, I'm telling you, it's no joke. Like, you think you about to get an apartment right away. You think you about to get a car right away. You think you about to do this. You think you about to go do that. But when you get an apartment, if you want a nice apartment, you going to need that credit up. You want a nice apartment, it's going to be like $1,500 and up. So I just spent $200 by myself, and I still got food in the house because I'm living with my mom. I spent almost $200 in the store. Then you got a $1,500 rent. every month. Plus, it's gonna be like $500 because you want the food to last a month. It's gonna be like $500, so that's like $2,000 just right there. Then you want to still look cute. Then you got gas money for that car that you bought while you was younger. It's really no joke. Like, it's really not that easy. Like, it's really not like. Really, it's really not that easy.
Drea, she was 17 last year when she left in May. When she left last year in May, for the 2 months she was gone, she was 17. Yep, she was 17, but she had some tools. She had some things in there, you know what I mean, that helped her survive to a degree out there for 2 months.
You had to make $20 last a month.
She knew how to stretch 20. She learned how to stretch $20.
You had to make some shake. You had to make something.
She knew how to make that pack of chicken stretch for 3-4 days too. It's like, so she knew she had some tools. But you know what I mean? Now, like you said, when she goes next time, she gonna be tip top because now she got all of the real jewels and all of the tools, and she's gonna utilize all of them.
And
now.
I'm gonna go the right way instead of just leaving out of nowhere. It's gonna be.
She gonna have a plan.
I'm gonna have a plan. I didn't have a plan last time. Just went out of nowhere. So it's really no joke. Like, you gotta figure out what you gonna do once that stove cut off and that heat and the electric. You gotta make some shit. Candles. And you can't get this little cute scents, the little nasty smelling joints, because you ain't got no money.
Oh, absolutely, Andre. She had to get a taste her medicine. When she packed, let me tell you, Andre, it was 2 o'clock in the morning. She was in her feelings. Situation had occurred. She was in her feelings. She packed her bag. She said she was out. I said, okay. Didn't stop her. I said, when you get to where you getting to, just send me a text so I know you safe. Because what we not going to do is, for one, I ain't kissing your butt. That's first of all. I don't care who you is, man, woman, chick, child. I ain't kissing your butt. Secondly, we didn't already have been bumping heads for some time now, right? We had already been bumping heads and just couldn't come to an agreement on anything. It was just like she thought she was, come on in, Drea, come on in. This iPad
here.
I know this iPad is be drawing. Let me see. It's probably not gonna let you on here. I'm on my iPad, Drea. It's not gonna let me let you on here because I don't know what's doing this weird. For some reason, my iPad just doesn't work right on this live. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna try it again just to see. But I don't know if it's gonna work for us, though. But we'll try to see. But that's just the thing, like, you know, she had to get a dose of her medicine, right? Because when she did that, it was like, I'm not kissing you, but I'm not chasing you. I ain't begging you. I ain't standing in front of the door talking about no. Especially you 17, 12, younger. Now you like now it's go sit down if I trash you in this here house because you drawing. Take your butt upstairs and go to bed. But you 17. And at that time, 17. And in a few months, she was going to be 18. So for me, it was just like, I'm not fighting with you to try to keep you here and tell you can't go, don't go. Because this is the thing. I could have did that. Her mind was made up. Right? So all of it took was that night she probably wouldn't have left. And the first chance she walked out the front door that next day or something, she'd have been going anyway. So for me, I felt like this when you want to go, you ready to go right now? You catching a lift? It's 2 o'clock in the morning. She packed her bag, a big bag of stuff. She called the lift and she was out. She was going. All I had said was, when you get to where you getting to, let me know you there and you safe. Simple as that. Because at the end of the day, you my child and I love you and I want to make sure you safe. But at the end of the day, I couldn't fight with you. I had already went through the past 2 years of bumping heads with you and going back and forth, and you left and you went to your pop crib for a little minute. You came back. You left, went to your grandma's crib for a minute. You came back. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was like, if you ready to go out there into the real world, you think you ready, I got to let you get a dose of your own medicine, see how it works out for you. It's either going to work for you or it's not going to work for you. Nonetheless, with that being said, it is what it is at the end of the day. You feel me? So for me, it's just like we had to let her go. We had to let her get that dose of her own medicine for her to be able to realize, like, you know, this is just what it is. You know what I mean? And she went out there and she realized, oh, yeah, I got to be free. I got to do what I wanted to do, kind of, sort of, you know.
But I didn't even do that.
I didn't have nobody tell me when I had to go to bed or when I had to get up. I ain't had nobody telling me to go to school and so on and so forth. And I ain't had nobody telling me I had to clean up this and clean up that and do this at this time and do that at that time. She had all of those rights, right? But what positive came from it? Nothing really. But she thought she was ready. And this is what be happening with these kids. They be thinking as soon as they turn 18 that they're ready. That they're ready for the real world. And that don't be the case. That don't be the case. They think they be ready. They be thinking that they ready because they feel like, oh, all I gotta do is this or all I gotta do is that and so on and so forth. And then when you stop and you think about it, like when it's time to really do or whatever, you know, nothing happens. Nothing happens. And you get out there in the real world and life really smack you in the face, right? And now you like, oh, snap. Oh, snap. Now, if your parents gave you some tools, like she did have some tools, she was able to tap into that. And that's what saved her. If she was an individual, like the individual she ran away with and went to go be with, who family didn't give her no tools or no jewels, right? So she was schooling her and helping keep the both of them afloat.
And she thought she was schooling me.
She was helping them both stay afloat because she had tools. She had jewels that was given to her day in and day out. And we kept it raw and uncut and all of that stuff, you know, made it clear. This other girl didn't. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, she was able to keep them afloat to a degree while she was out there for the 2 months. But then when it became too much, it's like, yeah, this is too much. Like, it's crazy out here. Like, yeah, it's about time. And also she realized all of those people who she thought had her back and all those people she thought was going to really run to her rescue and all those people who she thought was going to be supportive. And even though those was the same people trying to like say kind of, you know, stall her out with certain things with me being a parent. Like, oh, your mom won't let you do this or your parents won't let you do that. And your parents is too hard or your parents is this and your parents is that. Feeding her this type of stuff. But when she left and she was out there in the real world, nobody was willing to really step in and assist and help her. Everybody started turning their back like, about that. You know what I'm saying? So that actually helped her in so many different ways by her making that move, right? Because now
at some point I did have to throw in the towel because she said you was able to. At some point I did have to throw in the towel because like when I started to realize certain things, like I kind of was like on the move. I was thinking quickly because some people like, oh, I mean, you gotta be able to think on your feet. Like I was thinking quickly. I was like, we can do this. Or the lights not on. We ain't got no hot water. But the stove's still on. Put a pot on. I was thinking on my feet. And then because people started, you know, like my mom said, people was kind of like letting me down and stuff like that. Because I'm like, you the whole time, you the one who was telling me like, trying
to encourage her like, well, yeah, because your parents, they too strict. And your parents this and they won't this and the third and blah, blah, blah. But then when she got out there and was looking for those lifelines, everybody was like, oh, what happened? It was nobody there to help catch her. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like you see, Andrea, most kids wouldn't have had a house to go back to. They would have just been stuck out there on the street. You know what I'm saying? They would have just been stuck out there. But she had a home to still come back to. It was more so like when we had that conversation, it was like, oh, you ready to throw in the towel? You ready? You ready? Okay.
I'm throwing the weight down.
Okay. You ready now? That you found your marbles? All right, come on, bring it in. But she was able to have that security blanket and know that she still had parents who loved her and cared for her, and all they wanted was the best for her and want to prepare her for the real world.
But I don't regret the experience though, because now I know if I do it the right way, I can do it. Like it's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. It's alright. I didn't have no tools, physical tools when I went out there. I didn't have no money, nothing. I had one paycheck. And I got lucky with that because I had worked 2 weeks before.
She had one paycheck, y'all. I picked the check up for her. I took her the check and all of that.
And I made that check last.
And in that moment, I did make her stand on her own 2 feet, right? In that moment, she couldn't call home and say, Mom, could you get me or could you do? In that moment, in those 2 months, she couldn't. Because for me, I felt like if I did that, she would continue to live that shitty life that she was living at that time, and she would feel that she can live that type of a lifestyle because, oh, mom is going to do a little bit in the back end too. So now, you know what I'm saying? So we let her sit in that moment.
But you did help me when I went to what's it called house.
That was a little bit different.
But that was like towards the end. That was like alright.
But that initial leave, and you see, she telling on me. In that initial leave,
no, but like it was 2 months straight where I didn't talk to my mom.
In that initial leave, it was like, oh, all right, you think you grown, you think the grass is greener, figure it out. But because I am the mom that I am, like she said, towards the end of it, when I felt like she was starting to kind of get a little bit more sense and starting to realize some things, but she still just wasn't ready to throw in the towel.
Because I got pride. I got a really big ego. Like, it's so bad.
I started to do a little bit of something here and there or whatever, but the reality is I made her have to stand in what she decided to do. Those are your choices. Those are your actions. You had to stand in that. And that's how I feel like accountability. We have to hold our children as well as our mates and people in our lives in general accountable. Because if we don't make these people accountable, they're never going to realize that they have to do this or they have to do that to make it to the next phase of their life, right? It's just going to be a continuous cycle. We're trying to break generational curses. We're trying to break the reality that, oh, I could do whatever and I have no consequences. Oh, I could say I could do this and it's not going to be no consequence. I could hurt people's feelings and nothing's going to happen to me. Or I could commit crimes and nothing's going to happen to me. We just want to make sure that they know that they have to be held accountable. You know what I mean? Ty, you are a reasonable person with excellent skills and do keep up with this show. Absolutely. We're going to keep pushing with this show as long as we possibly can. You know what I mean? Whether 2 people log on or no people log on, right? Or 100 people log on. We're going to keep it pushing day in and day out. And one day, people won't really realize the positivity in this and want to participate. You know, sometimes people don't want to jump on a bandwagon or something until it's popular, you know, until the popular person is you know,
like
wearing
them shoes, like you saw them shoes that look like feet? Mm-mm. It's these heels that's out. And they look like feet and they're ugly. And they like got the toe lines. You know what I'm talking, you know how like they got the toe lines and stuff and it look like feet on your feet. And it looked so horrible. But Cardi B started wearing it and now everybody buying them.
But yeah, so
I just don't get it.
And that's just the reality. That's just one of the things that just what it is, you know what I mean? Like in our today's society, you know, we're gonna keep it pushing and doing this podcast every Sunday. Every Sunday at 5 o'clock. Sometimes we might log in a little late depending on, like today we started at 5:30. You know, I had to tend to some other things briefly. That's why we was delayed today at 5:30. You know, I'm a busy woman, y'all. Listen, I be doing stuff all day long. From a 9 to 5 to one business to the next business to just being a mom and a wife, you know. So my hours really go from like sun up to sundown till midnight some days or whatever.
And we probably don't got many as people because everybody getting ready for Valentine's Day.
Or whatever. And, you know, Super Bowl tonight. The Super Bowl did start at 6:30. But nonetheless, like I said, whether it's 0 or 100 people logged onto these lives, we logging in every Sunday at 5. So whoever want to join. Whoever don't, maybe we got to wait till one day, you know, I get somebody popular because I ain't popular, you know, I guess, you know. We get somebody popular to log in and be on the lives or something, and then maybe that's who will bring the numbers in or something to where we got thousands of people. We hitting the K's for, you know, the live viewers or whatever. Nonetheless, it don't make me no difference because I'ma still be me. You feel me? And I don't need an audience, so to speak. pun intended, right? Exactly, Andrea. Yeah, she definitely wanted to be grown, so we had to let her be grown. You know what I mean? We had to.
I didn't want to be grown
because if we didn't allow her to sit in that, y'all, she would not have been able to come back the way she did and did a whole 360 to where, listen, I'm telling y'all, she came back. It still was a little rocky. She still had to get out of her own head in her own way. And now look, she was able to finish school in January. She's considered a high school graduate without the diploma yet because the graduation isn't until June, right? But she's considered a high school completed graduate. This day today, February 13th, 2022. Who would have thought the way she was flip-flopping the past 2.5 years, right? Who would have thought? But she here.
The people
she
who would
did
have
it.
thought the people was praying on my downfall.
But she here and she did it, and that's all that matters, right? But nonetheless, like I said, we gotta be supportive of our kids, but we gotta give them a guide.
Red button kid like me.
We gotta give them a guide, and that's all about what this topic is today about. It's not saying that we're giving our kids till age 25 and they gotta move out. That we're giving them a particular age limit to where they gotta move out, but we gotta guide them to prepare them to be ready to go. Because at the end of the day, no matter how much we love our kids, right? Nobody really wants their kids still living in their house at age 50 and you in your 60s, you in your 60s, 70s, and your kid 50 still on your couch eating your crunch berries and doing nothing with themselves. You know what I'm saying?
They still eating crunch berries. It's more cereal out here than the crunch berries.
Don't do that because that's one of my favorite cereals. The Oops All Berries.
That's because you're a little older. You're a little older. But they 18 and they still eating crunch berries.
That's my favorite.
And they still eating crunch berries.
But nonetheless, we don't want that. You know what I'm saying? We just don't want that for real. I don't think nobody really wants that. So with that being said, you know what I'm saying? We want to be sure that we're preparing our children to be ready to go, so they're not 50 sitting on our couch doing nothing, eating crunch berries, and then we beefing because you eating my favorite cereal, and then I go to get me a bowl and it's all going because you didn't ate it all or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's just all about preparation for our children so that they can make those changes smoothly. And if they still need us, of course, they'll still always be here, because no matter how old you get as a child, as your mother's child, you are still grown. You know what I mean? You still may need your parents. Because for me, I'm 37. I'll be 38. No, how old am I? I'm 38. I'm tripping. I don't even know how old I am.
I was about to say, how 18 and you 37? I'm
38, be 39 this year. And I still call my mom and ask her for assistance and help and stuff like that. My mom is my brand ambassador for Arcadia's Wear. She's our brand ambassador. And I call her and ask her for help and support. And me and my siblings, we 38, 40, and 41. And we still call our mom and ask her for her help and assistance and stuff like that till this day. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's nothing wrong with ever needing your parents and your parents being there and being supportive of you. But we just got to give our kids the proper tools, that what they need, so when they are ready to go out here into this world, that they don't have to look back and feel like they failed because they got to look back to their parents or whatever the case may be. Because everybody needs some kind of help sometimes. I'm still laughing. I still have the same number from high school. I still got the same number too.
Oh, please. I don't have the same number. I still got the same number too, Drea. I think the only reason why I don't still have the same number is because my phone always getting stolen or broken. Like, my phone was stolen 3 times. And then I'm always...
I know, Mom, I know I'm 38. It's just, I had a brain for it. Come on, get off my live time if you're going to be criticized. All right, Mom, get off. Yes, and the mother going to come running, period. Absolutely, absolutely. But like I said,
I know she gonna come running.
This is not about.
I don't even have to call her for her to come running.
It's not about like an actual age of like you gotta go. It's more so, are we preparing them to be ready to go when it's time to go? And that time to go is, technically really when they're ready. But like I said, you can't be 50 on my couch still eating crunch berries doing nothing. Because we going to have a problem. Houston, we have a problem.
And I wanted to speak on that with the whole, like, getting in trouble and stuff like that. Like, I think I changed my mindset since I've been back home. And since I'm 18, like, I don't even call me and my mom getting into it, me getting in trouble no more. Like, I just feel like I'm at the age where I am grown. So, like, I'm at the point where, like, I have my own opinions and my mom have her own opinions. And sometimes we might clash. And me and my mom is like in certain ways where her opinion is going to be her opinion. My opinion is going to be my opinion. And sometimes we both think we just right in both of our opinions and think that our opinions is facts. And I don't call it getting in trouble. Like, I was just talking to my siblings earlier, like, and I was just saying, like when you get to a certain age, I don't even call it getting in trouble. Because my mom, what you did on the steps yesterday when you was upset and stuff like that. Like I told you, like you yelling at me, and I communicated it with you that you were upset at me and directing your questions to me, but they weren't listening. Like my siblings and all of them, they weren't listening. So the questions were getting directed to me because I was the only one listening. So I had to explain that to my mom, and I explained to my little brother earlier. I said my other young brother got upset at that fact, and in my head, you're not in trouble. Like you're too old to get in trouble. Like I feel like there's a certain age. That's an age limit. There's a certain age where it's no longer trouble. It's you communicate.
I'm telling you, you did. I'm letting you know this what you did, and this what is, and you just gotta fix it. But it's not a trouble. Like for me, in trouble is I took your phone and then you can't use your phone for the rest of the day. In trouble is I told you can't get on the Xbox for the rest of the day, for the rest of the week. Or in trouble is you want to go to the movies and I'm telling you you can't go to the movies now because you're in trouble. Me telling you, yo, you didn't clean up your mess. You need to clean up your mess. And I might have yelled it at you or even maybe cussed at you about it. That's not in trouble. That's directly telling you you did X, Y, and Z and I want you to fix that. And that's it.
Right, and if you can't handle something like that, that's when you decide if you are ready to leave or not too. Because to me, I'm at the age where there are a lot of things that my mom allowed me to do. So there's no getting in trouble. Oh, when I used to get in trouble, oh, you on the phone with a boy? Give me your phone. Oh, you did this? Give me your phone. Oh, you did that? Give me your phone. You haven't even, there's no like, there's nothing that I could do at this point that
to
would
really
make
get
me
in trouble.
To get in trouble. Like, now to not go to the movies as if I didn't do something in her household that she wanted me to do.
Now, even when you
that's
grown,
not even getting in trouble.
Exactly. Now, if you grown, I mean, like you're 18 now, and you're like, yeah, mom, I'm about to go to the movies, but I told you to make sure the kitchen is done or whatever. Like, no, you gonna clean that kitchen first before you leave out my door. I don't care how old you is. I want my kitchen clean. That was your duty to do, and now you can go to the movies, but before that's done, you ain't going nowhere till that's done. So yeah, but that's still, like you said, not in trouble. Yeah. So nonetheless, you guys, we are getting ready to end this live for tonight. I gotta go finish cooking dinner so these kids can eat. And my son won't come downstairs and watch the Super Bowl on a big screen TV. And I'm in his way. He can't do it, turn the TV up loud and stuff. So we're going to end this live video, right? But we want to thank you all for participating and joining in. I don't know. You guys for joining in for our live today. We greatly appreciate it. We thank you guys for your continued support. Those who continue to log in every Sunday. Those who can't log in every Sunday. Those who just share it and go back to view it. Those who have went on the YouTube channel to subscribe to help us get to our 50 files. We are currently at 23 subscribers. Help us get to 50 subscribers, you guys. So go to the last YouTube link, press like, subscribe, share, press those notifications, help us get to 50 followers. Like I said, platform, we take it all in. You know, we're not here to judge nobody. We're not here to tell nobody they right or they wrong. How you run your house is how you run your house. How you choose to be a parent is how you choose to be a parent. How you choose to be a man or a woman is how you choose to be a man or a woman.
And I'm the kid's point of view, so y'all not always going to agree with me.
No judgment zone, exactly. And this is coming from a parent, from an adult, and a youth's point of view. So what we need, because sometimes we don't see everything, but the youth see something a little bit different that can help us realize, like, and take a minute to stop and think and maybe change our perspective to a certain degree with certain things.
Don't mean change how y'all do things in your house,
but change the perspective a little bit sometimes and have us stop and think a little bit more before we just act on impulse and just different things like that. But nonetheless, you know, we pinned in the comments as usual my Cash App, her Cash App. You need any Kadia's wear, get at me. You need any books, 1 for $15, 2 for $25. You know, she's getting her, whole baking thing.
Right, selling my cheesecake.
Breezy's reading treats, you know what I'm saying, coming soon. She's making cheesecakes currently right now. You guys, want to place a cheesecake order. Briefly, Cake Cares, this is our second business going on, me and my husband. So if you have anyone who needs any companion care services or nanny services, get at us.
Y'all should hire me.
Get at us. We're only accepting private pay at this time. So if you have a family member or know somebody that need a nanny or need some companion care services and supports right now, let me know. Get at us. And we can help you guys and support you guys with that. Because we are in business. We are
service we need a ring light or something because we need some natural light going on or something.
Or we get some supports and things like that. Whatever. We gonna get our production up and going too. We need our production. We still fresh. Episode number 10. But as we continue to progress, we're gonna get better and better and better and more support and more support and more support. But we love you guys. Thank you for chiming in. Share this video today if you haven't shared it yet, so someone else can view it and get some perspective on what's going on out here. But Breezy, you're on the right track, baby. Thank you, Andre. I want to say, I think we did pretty good, even with all the ups and the downs and the backs and the forths and things like that.
And just because I made mistakes in the long run,
I think we did a hell of a good job with raising her.
Because person at the end of the day.
That we did a pretty good job, and Breezy is going to be amazing. Look for her in the future, you guys, because she's going to be amazing. She is amazing, but she's going to be 100%, 1,000% more amazing as time progresses and life goes on and things like that. Exactly. And we all make mistakes, and we all will continue to make mistakes no matter how old we get, So with that being said,
everybody has their own story and own journey.
We all got our own story and our own journey to tell. So with that being said, people gonna remember you and they gonna know who Breezy is, and it's only up from here. You feel me, you guys? So with that being said, we are logging off. Thank you guys. Episode number 10, Mom and Breezy, and we are out.